Oh, beautiful piece.
I guess we're gonna try Poop Boss. Alright, well, we failed the Poop Boss. I'm playing pretty terribly, and yeah, so there's that. Let's try this again. Okay, second time was a charm. Alright, Lonnie is selling me a tincture, so I finally get that for some much needed damage here. Alright, this is a fine place to start. Wish I had a better prefix, but maybe on the next one. And we're replacing the silver flask with the tincture. I just clicked an Exarch altar that reflects my non-damaging ailments. That was a mistake. Never clicking that again. Alright, I am starting to level up a Trinity support. This weapon kind of got me thinking about it. I don't think I'm going to use this particular weapon, but gets me thinking about the Trinity option. Damage is starting to seem bad. Alright, I've switched into a different supplemental single target setup. Right now, Holy Sweep linked to General's Cry, Auto Exertion, and right now I'm running Melee Fizz. People are running all different kind of supports here. Physical Lightning, Pulverize, stuff like that. I didn't want to recolor the helmet. Probably will at some point. Jury's still out, whether it's any good, but my gems are all level 1, so I gotta give it a little bit of time. I'll report back later. Alright, first T16 map boss. I was wondering why it wasn't getting called, then I just remembered it's a 2-stage boss.
It should be noted that the single target damage gets better as the General's Cry setup levels up in gem level. I noticed that it was much better the second time around when I went to go do these maps to get the Searing Exarch fragment.
Okay, so I've made a couple of upgrades and adjustments. Suppose we should talk about them. I added an automation setup with Desecrate and Steel Skin. So I'm automating my Steel Skin, and more importantly, I'm automatically casting Desecrate because General's Cry requires corpses to summon the Mirage Warriors, and when you're in boss fights, you don't necessarily have corpses. So it's kind of an important setup there. I got an upgrade on my helmet, Big Fat Life, almost as much armor as the last one. And boots had Big Life, armor, and resists, and I was able to actually get an increase on my movement speed. My last pair had 20%. So, able to get my life pool up by about 100 to 150. Nothing to sneeze at. I've got my invitation for Eater of Worlds. I'm just going to go run up through the map tiers and grab the Exarch one as well. Alright, let's see how Black Star goes. Alright, I put in Arctic armor for this fight so I can't be frozen because it's really fucking annoying. Alright, that was messy, but we got it done. So while I'm killing this boss, it has come to my attention that the automation does not cast Desecrate. So on bosses, I have to manually cast it.
Okay, so we've come to Eater of Worlds. There's not a whole lot to talk about. He uses kind of area denial effects. There's immunity phases. And it's a lot of, like most of the bossing with this build, it's just running around in circles. The damage is mediocre. The fight takes about 8 minutes. And the 20% cull goes a long way. Okay, so let's start to summarize things while I ride the struggle bus against Hentai Boy here. I made a bunch of changes as I went along. I tried a bunch of auras with 25 mana. That didn't work because I couldn't auto-cast Assassin's Mark. I dropped Hatred, swapped Herald of Ash for Herald of Purity, and I got rid of some mana reservation and reduced mana cost, which freed up some points for staff nodes and max resistances, I think. Searing Exarch, second verse, same as the first. We run around in circles, hitting him with a stick. As long as you don't try to tank the Annihilation attack, you run away from the Incineration, you should be okay. I die on every ball phase, or nearly every ball phase, because I'm bad. Yeah. This one also took probably 8 minutes or something like that, but I'm fighting Quest Pinnacle bosses with a staff from Act 6. Alright, so it's time to wrap things up. I'm gonna be real, I thought this build was boring. It was satisfying to watch shit blow up with Herald of Ash explosions while I just leap slammed around like a dingus. But good lord, is it boring just to hit something and run around in a circle while waiting for it to die. I'm sure there's a decent guide out there for people that need it. Hell, I might be that person based on how this went. I did eventually check out PoE Ninja to see what people were doing, but there wasn't a big sample size to look over. I largely skipped Mirage once I got into maps. I was mainly looking for 5 or 6 link rewards, and I didn't see them. I'm sure it's great, I see videos showing how busted it is, but for these compressed runs, I usually just skip stuff that doesn't progress towards the boss fights. I cannot believe that I couldn't beat my Act 6 staff. I spent all of my gold gambling war staves, and the best thing I got was essentially as good as the one I already had. I'm sure my gem links were scuffed, but whatever. This just shows that Static Strike after the buffs has the goods to kill Eater and Exarch on a weapon that you can find in the campaign. You might hate yourself while doing it, but when in doubt, just lean on Slayer to deliver you to the promised land, you know. What's next? I don't know. I want to do the Holy Hammers thing since it's new, but it's a staff wielder, so maybe I'll do a caster in between to cleanse the palate. Shock Nova of Procession looks fun. I haven't done a Watchstone run with an Archmage guy, if I recall correctly. If not, Kinetic Fusillade Totems. I'll probably do that on my main account, since I know that that has the ability to do 4 stones if I really care about it. It's probably going to be Shock Nova. So I hope you check it out. See you soon. Peace.